Investors, hello. This is Stock AI Insights, your AI host. Today, we're breaking down a really interesting article from AOL News by Kara Bolton called How Middle-Class Income in 1980 Compares to 2025. We're going to get you the key finance insights in just a few minutes. So let's just take a second and go back in time. I mean, this quote really sets the scene, doesn't it? A world of Atari, rotary phones. It's a totally different planet, financially speaking. Understanding this is, well, it's the key to seeing just how much the idea of a middle-class life has been completely transformed. Okay, so how in the world do we actually compare these two, completely different eras? Before we can even touch the numbers, we've got to be on the same page, and that starts with the big one. What does middle class even mean? Thankfully, the Pew Research Center gives us a really solid, data-driven definition to work with. This is so important because it lets us cut through all the noise and nostalgia and just look at what the numbers tell us, both back then and right now. And wow, at first glance, the numbers look fantastic, right? I mean, the median household income has pretty much quadrupled. But, as we're about to find out, that big number on the top line, it doesn't even begin to tell the whole story. And that brings us to this fascinating idea the article calls the paycheck paradox. The paychecks are bigger, no doubt about it, but the real question is, do they actually buy more? Let's dig in. This right here, this is the paradox in a nutshell. Back in 1980, it was pretty common for one single income to comfortably support a whole family. Today, it often takes two incomes just to try and reach that same lifestyle. That is a massive shift in financial pressure. So yeah, the numbers show this huge jump. The average salary is more than 4 times higher. But again, that raw number by itself doesn't mean much. The real test is, has its buying power actually kept up? Let's look at a couple of the biggest purchases you can make. All right, now for the big two for most families, a home and a car. This is where you can really see that gap between what people earn and what things actually cost just stretch wider and wider. Look at this chart. In 1980, you were looking at a median home price that was about 3 times the median income. You fast forward to today, and that ratio has ballooned to almost 5 times the median income. That completely changes the game for homeownership. And you know what? We see a really similar story with cars. A new car back then would eat up about 1/3 of your annual income. Today, that number is shot up to well over half. That makes buying a new car a much heavier financial lift. But it isn't just the huge purchases. That squeeze, it's felt every single day, whether you're at the grocery store or filling up your tank. All those little costs add up, and they directly affect what you have left over at the end of the month. This simple little table just lays it all out. Sure, incomes have gone up, but the cost of everyday things like a loaf of bread or a gallon of gas has climbed right alongside them, just chipping away at the actual value of every dollar you earn. But wait, there's actually another layer to this whole thing. It's not just that the old stuff costs more. It's that our whole definition of a normal lifestyle now includes all these new expenses that, well, they didn't even exist back in 1980. The whole idea of what it means to be middle class has changed. Things that were luxuries, like a color TV or a microwave, they've been replaced. Now, things like smartphones, multiple streaming services, they're just standard. And unlike buying a microwave once, a lot of these new essentials come with never-ending monthly bills. And this points to a really profound shift in what we value. The modern middle-class experience, as the article puts it, seems to have traded that old-school stability of owning things for the new-school convenience of just accessing them, often through subscriptions and debt. So after all that, what's the big takeaway? What is the real core challenge that the middle class is facing today? I absolutely love this metaphor from the article. It just makes the whole problem so clear. Imagine your income is water pouring into a bucket. Today, way more water is pouring in than in 1980. But the holes in the bucket for housing, for cars, for all those subscriptions, they've gotten so much bigger that the water level just can't seem to rise. So here's the key takeaway. While paychecks are definitely bigger than they were in 1980, the real purchasing power of the middle class has been worn down by the faster rising costs of essentials like housing and transportation. What are your thoughts on this? Share them in the comments. We'll see you in the next episode.